Hey y'all, my name is Slimmy. Right now, I just found out I have chemo. And first, this is my first chemo treatment, so this is what it looks like. I'm here at IGP Hospital here in Indianapolis, so you can see my treatment. I do a 4 hour treatment here. This is my room for today. I do my 4 hour treatment in here. It's because they got to watch me for my first treatment. I want to say I'm doing this treatment with God and my wife and my supporters. Um, my kids is I have 4 of them. They're not doing this walk with me. First, um, there was an issue with my sister. She put my father in a nursing home and let him die there. So I had to pay for attorney a lot of money to get her out of the home and cleaned out, which was a hoarder condition, and working there with my COPD to try to break down the price of the getting the house cleaned out. And then we had to have 4 moving trucks to come and move all of the property that we set to the backyard. This took us 2 months to do by 3 of us. Well, me, my wife, my cousin for one day, a half a day, my sister, and my side man. So it took us 2 months to get this house cleaned back out. And the people had the audacity to come and ask us, did we keep any of their property in the home? Like a goddamn fool. But I was sat down for 2 weeks before my back went out. And they told me I had stage 2 breast cancer. Uh, I'm like, fuck, I just found out I got COPD. Her father just died. And I got breast cancer. And they told me I had breast cancer on my uh, spine. So if I had it on my spine, I was inoperable. So I'm also mental health. So when I text my kids, they was like, "You tripping?" And nobody want to hear about this. So I was like, "Wow." I text my wife. She immediately called me back. I said, "Doctor's talking to me." She's like, "What?" She's a breast cancer survivor. I expected my kids to call me back, and they didn't. They text back, "You tripping? You need to see a psychiatrist. Nobody want to hear about you got cancer and it might kill you." So I was like, "Oh, you're not listening to me saying this man is saying if I have it on my spine, I'm inoperable." So it was like, get over all of this whining and this shit that you're doing, getting on our nerves. So it hurt my feelings, and I didn't realize I lost my kids when I lost them to the system illegally. The system, because I wouldn't tell on my boyfriend back in the day in the 90s that he was they wanted me to say he was a drug dealer, and I wouldn't. So I had a CPS case because I was an addict trying to do recovery, and this dude wasn't having me as a addict. I had to be in recovery to deal with him, and he wouldn't deal with me until 6 months. He seen me off the street. So finally, I've been off the streets for like a month when I called him, and we became friends. They became friends, basically a sugar daddy thing. And they told me he would get my first house. I can move with. He can move in, or he'll stay living in his mom's house. He's 10 years older than me, and I felt that he wasn't a pervert. He wouldn't do anything to my kids, my girls. I had 3. So I told him to move in. I felt this dude was a good dude, even though he did 16 years in prison. He had also told me that he went up niggas' asses too. So, and it was like shit that I was forced to do because I need to have some type of release. And it was like when I ain't a fag. So I was like, I would have never messed around with nobody like him. But he was the realest person I came across. So for me, he wasn't a fag shit. He wasn't no stick your finger up my ass when he got out. He wasn't no let me fuck you in your ass when I get out. No, none of that. So, anywho, We fell in love, and he got locked up to stay illegally. Came and got my kids because I would talk. I'm waiting on somebody to reach out to me to listen to my story because it's a story and it's on the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court here allowed a doctor to get the allow the court the judge to rule against me because she said I was just done with the sixth grader. And when I went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court let this doctor, play doctor, who was a therapist, lie on the stand and say she was a doctor. But in the appeal process, it came to find out she was just a therapist, and she talked to me for 15 minutes, not 3 hours. But anyhow, because my attorney, she tried to tell me all the money I've been sending her. She wasn't my attorney, but I had email state that she said she's my attorney. She got mad because I called and found out she didn't file the emotions. She didn't file the emotions. Edit, what's this edit mean? To get more people here. Okay, so anyhow, so when I found out that my sister was selling drugs at my father's house this year, I had to go confront my younger sister who I grew up with, but I never thought she'd have turned my father house into this. And then I found the truth about my father. He did go out there for therapy at the nursing home, but he ended up being in a coma and he died out there in the nursing home. He was just falling. I don't understand how he died out there in the nursing home. So that's something else I gotta find out. But she turned his house into a trap house that he's been living in for 51 years. He was mean as Satan. He really was. But at the end of the day, he was our father. He never put his hands on us. He took care of us. He was a very boisterous, mean person. Uh, excuse me. There were 16 of them. So I said granddaddy was a motherfucker. So anywho, the cycle has to stop somewhere. Well, and I hated my father just as much as my sister, and I can't lie to you, I did. But I would have never done this to a dog. She put him out there to empty his bank account and take everything he had. Um, and in May, I got the fake phone calls, the fake cries, and all that. And I was like, all of this is fake. And I had to get an attorney because I went over there and found out she was selling dope. And the neighbors was like, please help us. They was like, we've been here as long as your father have. We know your father. We know you. We grew up with you before you turned into a dope fiend. And they like, we need help. We need help. They like, we're senior citizens. We need help. It's time for us to, we want to relax on this quiet street. Your sister's pimping it out. So I said, okay, I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine. Yes, ma'am.
I have one question
Yes,
for
ma'am.
you. Did you get a binder like this?
Casey, no. I did get that.
So I'm gonna tell you off the bat, there's a lot of information in here,
Okay.
but we're just gonna go over one little chunk of it.
Okay.
Because we don't expect to go over all this stuff in one go, because there's a lot of info. So I'm gonna go ahead and prepare some information that we're gonna go over, and we can go over it at any time. Since you're on the phone, we can do it
Okay.
at any time.
Now I do the video, okay? And soon I get through live streaming, I will. I'm talking about breast cancer. I will. Okay. So, my after my father and kid situation, so I put then I'm an ex-felon. I couldn't be the power or the executive of my father's stuff. My older sister lived out of town. I haven't seen her in 28 years. My brother I met once in my life. Um, my other sister grew up with her who did all this devilish shit. And my other sister, my father's name ain't on her birth certificate, but she's our sister. I'm the one who want to make everything equal amongst us. there's no gain in it for me, and I'm glad there was no gain for me because afterward I heard I have breast cancer. But anywho, um, a family got possession of the home July the 13th. We got the house cleaned out like the end of August. September the 7th, my back went out and they told me I had cancer. But by then, me and my kids' relationship was ruined. We was at each other. We had damaged each other. I had to realize that my kids held a lot of hostility from them being in um, the system. And the system lied to them. The system told them I was a dope fiend, a crackhead, and I gave them away. So, and their foster parent gave them back to me when they was 14. So, and they don't know what type of life they live. Um, yes, I'm in a hospital. So my kids don't know how this is killing that they're not here with me. I have tried everything from let's do family support to figure out what this problem is with all of us. We're all stubborn. We're all this way. Let's fix this amongst us. I pay for the family treatment therapy. Who's biased amongst us all so that I can have y'all support here. I need y'all support. And my grandkids, I got 8. So one by one, since they can't get me to argue with you because it takes two. They pulling my grandkids out away from you. We raised our grandkids since they were younger, having babies, and they wanted to be flued out everywhere, flued out, and we let them be flued out. We raised the kids. I mean, I was an addict, and my daddy raised my kids, so we allowed them to do what they did, and now I have none of them. They have all blocked me. Um, Today, I got the first email from the first kid telling me I couldn't see my grandson. And I was like, I wouldn't even refuse with her. I was shooting with the other 2 girls. My son would never get feud with him. And he told me that um, I was the type of person that belittled you and made life hard for you. I did make life hard for him because he used to be a drug dealer. I'm a recovering addict. You couldn't sell drugs and live in my apartment. You playing with my sobriety. He couldn't be none of them things. He had to be go to school and go to work, and that's all the time he had. The weekends he can get out, but he had to be back in the house by 10 o'clock. He wasn't getting any free time to do anything. So he said because I showed him tough love and paid for him to go through truck driving school 2 years ago, I am that mom. So my kids have broken me, tore me, they have crashed me, they have made me suicidal, depressed. Woo, they have done some of the meanest things to me, and I have taken it and to the point that I take it on board. Got my information from my daughter. Just want to consider grandson on board, but I got to deal with that. I got other grandkids. My 2 oldest ones. I got a 17-year-old. He's blind. My 2 girls is 13 and 14. They gonna make sure Granny see the kids and let them make sure they remember who I am. I would have never thought I would have breast cancer this year. I would have never thought this year would have been like this. What it is. Um, I have my daughter. She's a nurse. She's 35. I have a daughter that's in the Air Force. I have a daughter that's probation officer and a son that's a truck driver. And they all think because, and I hold 5 degrees. I'm working on my fifth one. So they feel that everything is come to your therapist, but not let's fix our problem because it can't just keep being my problem. It has to be our problem. This is our situation between our family. Let's get it fixed. But they don't want to. So, I found out stress kills you. Um, and depression will kill you. And all the other things that go with it kill you. So I had to let them things go. I didn't need none of that extra baggage. Um,
Just put your book over here, Miss
okay.
Jones.
Thank you.
And then I'm gonna just check your ID, make
Okay.
sure it's working okay. Okay, good. I'm gonna get another one of these and just kind of coil it up here so that way it's not dangling all over the place for
Okay.
you.
But anywho, it's a bitch when you don't have family.
Sorry, I don't
Oh,
mean
you
to.
fine. You are fine.
I'm
You,
just
you
trying to take
just
good
remind
care
me
of
of
you.
the Snow White.
Oh.
That's you remind me of Snow White. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Okay. So, I'm doing this walk with. I'm writing a book. With from. They're Texas. They're rude, nasty, belligerent, harsh text I get to put in the book I'm publishing on this walk with cancer. Um, they call me crybabies. Um, I said I do too much crying. I'm too emotional. Um, I got 15 straight days of radiation and then 4 rounds of 4 hours of chemo. So they don't know if the radiation gonna work the first time because they doing them together. Or after chemo, they're gonna have to still do 15 weeks of radiation. I don't know. But another thing was if I would have had the cancer on my back when they did the MRI and found out it was in my breast just turned into a rock. That if it would have been in my on my spine, I couldn't have it. I couldn't be operatable. All they could do was put an IV in me and give me a whole bunch of drugs until I took my last breath and died. That's all they could have did because once they cut me, the cancer would have spread throughout my body because it's in one place in my breast and on my back. But it wasn't on my back. Thank you, Jesus. Um, I didn't get it there. Um, but my kids, I would have never thought my kids, not mine, would have treated me like this. But my daughter, for her to be a nurse, she has no empathy, sympathy, morals, ethic, care. I mean, when your parent gets come down with blood with cancer, breast cancer, any gloves or disputes are settled. Nobody won. Nobody. It was just some bullshit dispute, and I didn't want to listen to their phone ringing for the 2 weeks while waiting for the result to come back to see if I was gonna die or not. And they was like, "So why you keep saying you're gonna die? Because the result, if the result says it's cancer on my back, they can't operate, so I'm gonna die because they can't operate. The cancer is gonna spread. All they can do is put me on a shitload of painkillers and put me in a comfortable state until I die." And they didn't get that. They was like, "So still you shouldn't be crying." I don't understand why you crying. So this has been an emotional road for me. My wife could come back here because of COVID-19, one of the restrictions. So she can't come back here. The chemo medication has not made me sick. Thank you, Jesus. It has not made me sick. I got 4 hours of this. I got another 2 to 3 hours of this shit left. So 3 hours and 10 minutes left for this. I'm drinking my water, pushing this shit out of me. A lot of people say, "How you tell your business like this?" And I say, so other people know how fake my kids are. I say everybody knows what type of grandmother I have, and I'm the best grandmother there out there, one of the best. And I say so from birth all the way up, all they seen them on Facebook with me. They see them when they was cute in a new outfit, taking pictures with them on vacation. But they sent them with us. Uh, don't ever do your loved ones like this, especially a parent. Be there for your mother, your father, your grandfather, your grandmother, your siblings. When something serious like this is occurring, whatever hostility you got, don't feel bad not saying you could have fixed this. It wasn't that bad years later when you grow up. Um, Now I'm depressed because I didn't get to say goodbye to my mom. Or I treated my mother or my father or my siblings this way. It hurts to be treated this way, but I cannot, I will not be forced to bow down to my kids. I'm their mother and they're my kids. And it will always be that way. The Lord gave them to me. The Lord can take them back. That's the way I feel about it right about now. He gave it, he could take him. Um, I have never been so ashamed. They make me feel worse now than when I was on crack dealing with it addiction. They make me like the worst parent ever now. So now my daughter sent me a text this morning out of the blue, just said I couldn't see my grandson no more. She was done with me and done with my grandson, and he's 9, so I can't see him no more. Man, that's some fucked up shit. So I had to call his father. All the kids' fathers ride with me. They call me Slimmy Dog, Slim Dog. And they ride with me. And they like, baby, we don't live with you and you ain't charge us rent. All of us have. And I say, y'all have. And he say, well, you always cooked us dinner, make sure something was hot for us when we came in our hour tonight. I said, yes, I did. He said, we didn't have to clean up nothing. No, you didn't. I made y'all very comfortable and welcome in our house. Because y'all need to save your money so y'all can get y'all another house. Why would I charge y'all? It wasn't no use. Y'all didn't have nothing. I needed y'all to save so y'all can eat. So nobody think this. my my wife, son, he texts me twice. I've been going through this 3 months now. And I'm done with him. His girlfriend finally texted me that we've been on her for 8 years. And we've never asked for anything back. Whatever they need and we got it, we give it to them. We can't stay in a bad situation, a bad way. And I gave him this big ass roach and all these canned goods and all the brisket. That's what it was. And he didn't call and thank you. And I was like, yes, see some of your problems. I had their holes good for food. And he didn't call me and say thank you or nothing. And I said, this is the last time I helped him too. And I'm like, what is wrong with thank you? What's wrong with that word nowadays? Nobody is using it. So since they're not using it, I'm not gonna use it. Some passages just like they are. So so I'm gonna get off here live streaming, y'all. I need some people here. Well, I'm gonna stay here live streaming. Let me see if I can get my people on here. I got 82. I'm also here, y'all. This is also me. Shit. I'm on TikTok. So it's only one person here. This is me. I'm gonna see if I can get some people on here to stream with. Let me put a whole new caption up here. Let's edit. Uh, How many more I gotta do?
Just one more, and it's only 30 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah. How are you doing?
All right.
Good. Just hold your arm for a moment. We're gonna just, I think the tubing is on the side, so maybe it's on the same. Just,
Was it?
let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna lift this up 1 second just so I can get to this.
Okay. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
Is it my phone? Okay.
Here we go.
Okay.
I know, we can always go with voice. Here we go. All right, I'm gonna go get the next chemo.
Okay. So I'm telling my wife to be here within 30 minutes.
Yeah, it'll be about 30 minutes, but I'd say if you're calling someone to come pick
She
you
only
up,
10 minutes away from here.
yeah, I would wait a little bit then, just because the drug, the chemo.
Okay,
is
I'll
30
wait.
minutes. Yeah.
Okay, I'll wait.
We'll be taking your IV out and stuff after. So.
Okay, so I just wait.
Yeah, we'll just wait a little bit.
I don't know what would have happened if you hadn't taken care of Bailey and David. We probably wouldn't even know he was missing until Christmas Day. Thank you so much. My brother is a very special guy. Yeah, he is. Christmas miracle.
My favorite authors are William Faulkner and Patricia Highsmith.
Strangers on a Train. One of my favorites.
But I don't know if there's anything more to that.
Like I said, now I know a little better.
Well, now I know better.
I've been trying to separate the things we thought we knew from the things that turned out to be true.
Let's see if I can help. I mean, here's my dog, Bear.
Well, it is nice to meet you both. I'm Darcy Archer. So, what do you do for a living?
I'm an art teacher. How about you?
Alright, Miss Jones. I'm just gonna borrow your arm for a moment. So let me know when you have a good moment.
Okay.
Oh, let me borrow this arm. And
Merry Christmas.
I'm fine.
We working, I'm working.
Mhm.
We working together.
Yep.
You to the bathroom or anything?
Nope.
Okay. Almost, almost done.
Okay.
Miss Jones, can I scan your armband real quick?
Mm-hmm.
Other arm. There we go. Thank you.
Now, let me take this out. I ain't got nothing here, okay?
Let's try that one more time. There we go.
We show up for family day every week now. Yeah, such a good idea to finish the tree without wasting our days. So that we have enough time to eat. No, we finish the tree together. Tradition.
All right, Miss Jones, can we tell us your name and your birthday again?
Beverly Jones, 52467.
All right, I have Beverly A. Jones, date of birth 5/24/1967. This is cyclophosphamide, 1,160 milligrams. Going
Okay.
over 30 minutes. Full drawing 328 mLs. Going at a rate of 656 mLs an hour. It expires tomorrow at 4 in the morning. And it is cleared and intact. Okay.
And he'll see that too someday. Do you think I'm complacent? I think it's an easy trap to fall into when you don't yet know your thing. Well, what if some people never figure out what they're passionate about? I mean, it happens. I studied art history and ended up reading Karen all the time.
Yeah. Getting the last one started. Maybe I'll just man. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
That's just it.
Secondary. All right. Now, Miss Jones,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes people with this medicine, they
Mm-hmm.
kind of feel like a headache sometimes or like sinus pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So if that happens, just let me know and we'll slow it down a little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
So, for now, I'm going to enjoy eat more baked goods that should be illegal.
Okay. And then when would be a good time to go over just a couple of
We can go over whenever you need to, baby. I'm just writing. Just out.
Cool, then I'll be right over with that info
Okay.
for you.
So that you each have one to take home.
Alright, Miss Jones. I'm gonna just grab a chair.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'll just move some of this to the side.
Okay. Yes.
You are going to land on your feet, Carla. We all are. Thank you. You deserve to be happy.
You can start talking. I'm just correct spell checking. That's all I'm doing, spell checking the paper.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, in this binder here, we have some information right on the front page.
Okay.
This is where you're going to call if you need to reschedule.
You got
or make
highlighter. Could you highlight that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So this
my
is
emergency people. Would you highlight them for me?
Yep, I got the scheduling number, I got the
Okay.
after hours number. And I was gonna ask you, do you have the number for Barbara Thompson?
I don't even know Barbara Thompson, so I don't have her number. Could you highlight her?
Do you know who the nurse coordinator
Nope.
is?
Nope.
I think it's Barbara Thompson, from what I could tell in the notes.
Do this stay in?
Nope, I'm gonna take that out when we're all
So
done.
y'all put the new one in every time y'all. Okay,
Exactly.
that ain't bad. Four
Yeah.
times, that ain't bad. I can take that. I can take that.
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and finish.
So I think Barbara Thompson is your go-to person. The only thing is I couldn't find her phone number.
Would you write her name down?
Yep,
It's my go-to person.
Yep, that's your
So that'll
go-to.
be perfect. If you write that down, then I know who she is.
Okay.
She's my go-to person,
Yep.
even if I don't have her number.
Yep, and all of that is on the front page here.
Okay.
And if it's after business hours, weekends, holidays, I have an after hours number for you as well.
Okay.
Okay. Now, if you have a fever, you have 100.4 or higher, you need to call the after hours number if it's after hours, or
Okay.
talk to Barbara Thompson, because that could be an emergency for you.
Okay.
It used to be that you would go to the emergency room, but with COVID and stuff,
No.
maybe the last place they want you to sit is in a room full of really sick people. So that's why I say call. But
Okay.
don't delay, because if you have a fever, oh, thank you. That's my girl. She got the go-to person's.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about there. High five.
Okay, I'm gonna write this number in here, and this is your go-to person. Thank you. I was having trouble finding that.
No, you're gonna have the list.
She's got the list. That's why she's one of my favorite people to work with. And she keeps the day fun. Okay, so
That's even better.
Alright, so I got her name, I got her number, and I got go-to person highlighted. Okay. And just in case, I put her number in here too, because you can put all these
Okay.
business cards that the doctor.
Perfect. Okay, so I need to do that. I need to do that.
Yeah, because then you can keep it all in one place. Alright, I'm gonna read this off to you.
Okay.
This is when to call the doctor. Fever above
Okay.
100.4. Flu-like symptoms. Shaking, chills, body aches, things like that.
Okay.
If you're having trouble going to the bathroom or going pee, like it hurts and burns and blood, you're not peeing very much.
Okay.
Okay. Sore throat.
Okay.
You have red or white patches in your mouth and sores, let your doctor or your go-to person,
Okay.
Barbara Thompson, know about these things. If you have diarrhea,
Okay.
5 or more loose stools in one day, they need to know about that. If you're constipated and you haven't had a bowel movement for more than 3 days, let them know also.
Okay.
If you have nausea or vomiting more than 2 episodes in 24 hours, let them know.
Okay.
Okay. And if you have any abnormal bleeding from your nose, in your poo, in your pee, in your vomit, or coughing, really, that's important for sending. But all this is written down.
Okay.
If you have any numbness, tingling, or burning in your hands or feet.
Okay. Like diabetes, because I know what when I had my surgery done, I had to wait for my nerves to wake up. So I know what that feels like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes people get something called neuropathy, like
Yeah,
diabetics.
I like that. I know what that feels like. I had it.
Yeah, so if you feel anything like that, because sometimes the chemos can cause that,
Okay.
let your doctor know so they can help you with that.
Okay.
Yeah. Very good. Okay. If you have any new onset shortness of breath or dizziness or swelling, you
Okay.
notice
She told me how to tell in my hand and in my ankle when I'm sick. Because I won't know because I don't feel like I'm sick.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If you have any uncontrolled pain
Okay.
or pain that's getting worse, you let them know.
Okay.
And then if you have any redness, heat, tenderness, or swelling at your IV site.
Okay.
Okay? All right. And if you need to cancel your appointment because you're not feeling well, you must call your go-to person, Barbara Thompson, so
Okay.
she can understand what's making you not feel good, so she can help you
Okay.
and then get you back on the schedule. Okay. I wrote down your two chemotherapies on the front page. It's the cyclophosphamide, which is the one that's going, and the first one was the docetaxel. But these are all written out.
Those are the things that you just gave me in my things. Okay.
Yep. And then the pre-medications that I gave you, I'll write those down too.
So, let you know about.
Oh, this way.
Yes.
Isn't that what I just said? Just do what I pay you to do. Megan, sister.
And I wrote down the Zofran and the dexamethasone, because those are part of your treatments,
Okay.
but they're not your chemo. They're like your
Okay.
pre-medications.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So you asked, every time you come in, we're going to start an IV on you. Okay? And while we start your IV, we're going to get some blood and send that off to the lab.
Okay.
Now, sometimes people feel like when they come here, there's a lot of hurry up and wait. Hurry up and wait. And the reason why is because, for example, when we send the blood to the lab, we have to wait for the laboratory to process them and give us the results before we can move on to the next step of your treatment.
Okay.
Because if your labs are out of whack or something's off, we want to make sure that make sure that they're okay and we talk to the doctor before we start treatment.
Okay. Okay, I'll be ready in a little bit, baby, because I'm there in about, she's doing up her stuff with me now. So she's going over the stuff, the do's and the don't. We haven't got to the food section yet, but she's going over my thing. And so I'm listening to her. And I'll call you. You can be coming on up here. We sitting around that circle belt about how much I'm going to be all together after you get me together.
Out the door, probably like 35 minutes.
She said about 35 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And if you want to, you can stay on the phone with us while we go over education.
Okay, you can stay on the phone with her. Let me put you on the video, boo. So, because she's my caregiver.
Yeah.
So,
That way,
boo.
if you have any questions,
Okay.
then you
go.
can hear it and send you
Can you see her?
too.
Okay, let me tell you this one. Okay. Okay, there you go. Here.
Hi, I'm Chloe. Hi. So, I just kind of went over. Are you Beth?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, we have a binder here. It's a lot of information. I'm not going to go over all of it because it's a lot of information. So, I'm just going over the first page, and then I'm going to go over the part that's about infusion. On the first page is like where all the important information is. So, I got the go-to person's number. If it's normal business hours, this is your go-to person. Her name is Barbara Thompson, and I wrote her phone number. So if you have any issues, you just call her and let her know. Okay? If it's after hours, there's an after hours number here as well. And then if there's instructions of, you basically talk to the hospital operator, ask for the on-call oncologist, and they'll help you. There's a list right here on the front page of when to call the doctor. Most important being fever. Okay. All right. And then if you need to reschedule an appointment or something, there's a scheduling number on the front page too. And then I wrote down her medications that I gave her today. She got 2 pre-medications. One is an anti-nausea, the other one is a steroid, all of which is supposed to help her not feel nauseous during the treatment. And she's been doing great. And I wrote the 2 chemos that she's getting today, and she's been doing great with that too. Yep. All right. So I brought you up to speed.
Okay, so basically we can have all the fruits and vegetables that's in the what's your name, aisle. She said basically we can have all of them.
Yeah. And there's actually a special, so there's all these different tabs in here, and you can go to different topics. And there's a nutrition tab in there that goes over everything in detail. But I told her, to my knowledge, I think that she can eat really whatever she would like. Fruits, vegetables, like we talked about how she juices, and there's a lot of power in plants, I feel. So I think that's great. I would just say just wash them real careful, on the outside. So, just make,